Okay, good afternoon. Sound check muna. Okay, naririnig di ba ako?
Di ba nag-start last September?
Okay lang yung audio.
Tapos ng December. 4 months of love.
Hello? Okay, sige. Okay, start na tayo. No? So, last time, natapos tayo dun sa ating free vibration. So, yun na yung last part ng ating free vibration, yung vibration of rigid bodies. So, this time, new topic tayo, equivalent systems. Equivalent system, same pa rin naman yung concept natin. Kaya nga lang is nag-iiba na yung iba na yung system natin. So before meron tayong spring, or spring mass model, meron tayong pendulum. So this time i-apply natin yun sa mga iba't ibang system natin na meron tayo, no? Okay, so for equivalent system, so simplification of a system or turning higher degree of freedom into a degree lower degree of freedom. So parang ginagawa lang natin is pinapasimplify natin yung isang system, ginagawa natin siyang single degree of freedom. And then we need to determine the equivalent stiffness. So ano ba yung stiffness? Yung value ni K. Or yung spring constant natin na tinatawag. So by determining the equivalent stiffness, so assuming its weight is smaller than other masses in the system. So yung weight ng ating system is parang siyang kumbaga negligible din yung weight ng ating system mismo. Kasi meron din tayong ibang mass na ino-consider wherein meron, let's say for example, meron tayong object, so yun meron siyang mass, and then dun sa system natin, so although meron siyang mass pero ina-assume natin na mas maliit yung value ng mass niya compared dun sa external na mass na kumbaga nangyayari lang is nine-neglect natin yung mismong mass ng system. So then its inertia is neglected. Yung inertia niya, since yung mass nga is ina-assume natin na mas maliit compared dun sa mass na nag-a-act dun sa system natin, and then yung inertia na ngayon is can be neglected. So sa equivalent system natin, meron tayong extension or contraction of elastic rods. So ito yung common nakita nyo dun sa deformable. Then meron din tayong cantilever beam, simply supported beam, and torsion of elastic rods, and floating bodies. So itong mga ito, before, nadaanan na natin sa deformable. So this time, apply natin siya apply natin siya as a spring. So 'di ba pagdating nyo ng machine design, or kung nakapag-take na kayo, meron tayong tinatawag na cantilever spring at saka yung simply supported na lip spring. Sa lip spring naman yun. Meron tayong simply supported at saka cantilever. So, pares pa rin naman yung kanilang value ng spring constant. So, extension or contraction of elastic rods. So, dito, kung mapapansin nyo, meron tayong, isin ko lang yung PDF natin.
Sir, excuse po. Kaupatan yung mic.
Okay, yes. Okay. So, meron tayo dito rod. So, nakafix yung end niya. And then yung force na nag-a-act natin dito is, kung mapapansin nyo, ito FO. So, pahila. So, meron tayo dyang, kumbaga, ang nagiging deformation niya is in terms of tension. So, pag nag-apply ka ng force dyan, since nakafix yung end natin, ang tendency, mag-deform yung rod. So, kaya meron tayo ditong deformation. Yung deformation natin dyan. And then, meron tayong elasticity. So, elasticity, mga modulus of elasticity ng ating material. And then, yung area. So, it's either, sabi ko, it's either circular or rectangular. So, same pa rin naman yung ating formulas. So, meron tayong deformation is equivalent to FL over AE. So, ito na din yung malimit yung ginagamit sa deformable and also dun sa machine design when it comes to shaftings. So, pagdating dito sa extension or contraction of elastic rods, so ang force lang natin is pahila, para siyang tension. Or it's either can be compressive. So, makikita niyo dito sa ating spray, para siyang similar. Similar lang sa concept ng pahila. Or media dito. This is simple lang din dito. So, pagdating sa ating system, so meron tayong elastic rod. Para siyang siya yung nag-aakas sa spring natin. Kaya nga lang, since yung spring natin meron siyang spring constant, so this time meron tayong elasticity. So makukuha naman natin yan. So meron naman tayong formula dyan. So derived formula natin dyan for K is F over deformation. So when we derive that formula from this one, yung S is equals to F over AE, makukuha natin ito, K equals AE over L.
Sir F, gagawin natin bukas. Lagi pag-alangin na sir yan.
Okay. So, yun lang ang concept natin dito pagdating sa extensioning or contraction of elastic rods. So, meron tayong tension or compressive force. And then, so yun pa rin naman ang components natin. Meron lang tayong, para nagdagdag lang is meron tayong elasticity ng material. And then, meron tayong cantilever beam. So, pag cantilever, so same din naman. Fix yung end niya. Then, naka-free end yung kabila. So, ang pinakaiba nga lang is kung mapapansin nyo, yung force na nag-a-act dito is nandito sa dulo. Yan. Nandun sa dulo nag-a-act yung kanyang mass. Kaya ang tendency ng kanyang deformation is nandito. Or it can be in vertical. So given yung ating length ng cantilever, and then ganun pa rin, meron tayong elasticity and yung I. So yung I natin dito is yung area moment of inertia. So di ba meron tayong same representation ng I as area moment and mass moment. So this time, yung area moment yung nag-a-apply sa atin kasi same lang din naman siya na concept dun sa ating deformable. And then kung mapapansin nyo dito, sa spring natin dyan, ang nangyayari lang dyan is pag halimbawa hinila mo siya pababa, so magkakaroon din siya ng equal deformation dito. Same lang, yan, same lang sila ng deformation. Ayan. Same lang. So yung ating K, o yung stiffness ng ating spring, o itong ating beam, is equivalent to 3AI over L cube. So I think this one is derived formula na din. Ano? So ito ay galing lang din dun sa mga tables dun sa deformable. Ano? So di ba meron tayo itong mga given na formula in terms of maximum shear stress, ano? Deformation. I think hindi ko sure kung nakita nyo na yung naka-table na formulas. Ano? So doon mas ma-identify nyo or mas maintindihan nyo yung ating paano tayo nakakapag-derive ng formula. So itong K, nanggaling lang naman yan dun sa sa force over deformation. Ano? So doon lang din ito nanggaling sa formula ng deformation natin ng cantilever beam. Ano? So ang pinakaiba lang nito dun sa mga nauna is ang maganda naman ito, meron na tayong fixed formula na gagamitin. Ano? So simply supported beam. So simply supported beam, ganun din naman, meron tayong hinge dito. Oh, then dito is roller. And then yung force na nag-a-act natin dyan is nasa gitna lang din. Ano? Lagi nasa gitna. Yan. And then kung mapapansin nyo dito sa ating spring, ano? So compressive naman yung nangyayari sa ating spring. Ano? Kaya yung deformation dito sa gitna, let's say for example, nag-apply ka ng force dyan, ang mangyayari, magde-deform yan. Para magiging ganyan, ano, mabebend. So that nagkakaroon siya ng deformation dito. Ano? So dyan sa part na yan, which is equal lang din dito sa spring na nandito. Ano? So baga nag-apply ka dyan ng force, so equal lang din yung deformation na makukuha mo. So this time, pagdating sa ating simply supported, meron tayong formula na 48 EI over L cube. And then, meron tayong torsion of elastic rods. So pagdating dito sa torsion of elastic rods, so parang kagaya siya nung una-una. Ano? So ang pinagkaiba lang, so this time, ano, so nakapix yung end niya dito. Ano? Yung force na nag-a-act sa kanya is hindi ito pa hilaha. So ito ay paikot. Kasi torsional yan. Ano? So paikot yan. Ito, kung mapapansin nyo, let's say, halimbawa ito yung cross-sectional ng ating bar. Ito, yan, yung bilog na yan. Ano? Kung mapapansin nyo, ito yung kanyang original. No? Then nag-apply siya ng force counterclockwise. Ano? Kasi nga meron siyang meron torque. Ano? Kaya ngayon, yung deformation niya is naka-angle theta. Ano? So ito. And then, so given yung ating radius, and ang nangyari naman dito, so meron na tayong bagong component. Ano? Meron tayong JG. Wherein yung J natin is yung polar moment of inertia. So huwag malilito. Pag J, polar moment, ano? Polar, pag I, is meron tayong mass moment and area moment. Ano? So yung G naman natin is yung modulus of rigidity ng ating material. Ano? So magkaiba ang modulus of rigidity at saka modulus of elasticity. So ito yung example ng ating torsional elastic rods in terms of spring. Ano? So meron tayong spiral and helical spring. Ano, kung mapapansin nyo, let's say for example, nakapix itong point na ito. Ano? And then yung ating rod is nandito sa gitna. So pag pinaikot mo yan pakaliwa, say pa ganyan, counterclockwise, ang tendency ng spring is sa paluwag. Ano? Kung mapapansin nyo dito sa ating spiral spring, i-observe nyo lang. So mangyayari dyan kapag nag-act ka ng torque, ano? So mangyayari dyan is pakaliwa yung pagpakaliwa yung ating torque. So mangyayari dun sa ating spring is luluag. And then, kapag ka naman syempre pakanan or yung clockwise direction, nangyayari naman dyan is pasikip. Ano? So, mangyayari lang naman dyan, so sa spring na yan, pag binitawan mo yan is babalik siya doon sa kanyang original position. Ano? And then, ito yung ating helical. So, same lang naman sila ng concept. Magkaiba lang sila ng itsura dito ano, sa part na ito. Let's say for this one, nakafix ito. Ano? Kasi kailangan nakafix lagi yan. Ano? Then, nag-apply ka ng torque dito. So, ganun pa rin. Ano? Pag binitawan mo yan, ano nangyayari? Babalik lang siya dun sa kanyang original position.
Mga punda ng unang puro laway na. Sigaw siya na lang yun.
And then, for torsion of plastic rods,
Beta natin to.
ganun pa rin naman ang value ng ating K. F over deformation. So this time, since torsion nga yan, mapapansin nyo, kung mapapansin nyo, yung kanyang deformation niya dito is naka-angle theta. Ano? Ibig sabihin, curvilinear na siya. Hindi na siya kagaya ng mga nauna na ang deformation is linear. Ano? So ito, sa example natin is para siyang spring mass model. Ito yung mga nauna wherein yung kanyang deformation is linear. Ano? Kaya yung kanyang K is F over yung deformation na linear. And then pag torsion naman, ano? So kung sa linear meron tayong F over deformation. Pagdating naman doon sa kanyang torsion, ano? So yung value ng stiffness ng ating spring is meron tayong torque. Ano? Yung torque yung nag-a-act over yung ating theta na angular deformation. So that T or yung ating torque, ano? So torque yan, hindi siya tension. Wherein yung ating torque is equivalent to yung ating K multiplied by theta. Wherein theta is in radians. Ano? So, lagi naka-radians yan. So at vibration, meron tayong formula dito. So summation, moment at point O. Counterclockwise direction. So same pa rin naman is equals to I alpha. So IM yan, since yung I naman natin na ginagamit dito is yung mass moment of inertia no? Kapag ka nagmo-moment. So yung formula ng moment na I alpha, so yung I niya is in mass moment of inertia. Ano? And then, since yung ating mapapansin nyo sa ating torque, ano? Ito. Mapapansin nyo sa ating torque, siya ay pakanan. Ano? Yung force ng ating torque is pakanan. So that dito is nagiging negative yung torque. Ano? So dito baka malito kayo. So sir, bakit po yung ating deformation dito is naka-counterclockwise direction? Kasi kung mapapansin nyo, no? Dito kasi sa point na ito, dito sa part na to, at saka dito, no? Pag nag-apply ka dyan ng torque, ano, dito sa part na ito, so yung deformation niya, ano, is sa pakabala. Ano? So dito, mapapansin mo dyan, mahirap naman ito. Yan. Yan. Ano po? Ang mangyayari lang naman dyan is kabilaan. Ano? So yung torque na in-apply natin, since yan ay clockwise, ang mangyayari dun sa deformation natin is para siyang pakabila yung kanyang direction nung nung kanyang deformation. Ano? Okay. So since T is equals ito, galing dito. So K theta, ano? So substitute itong value na to dito sa ating torque. So that we have here our value negative K sub T or yung ating stiffness times theta is equivalent to I alpha. So, yung alpha natin is also equal dito sa ating second derivative ng ating theta or no displacement or deformation. Ano? So, since alpha is equivalent to theta double prime, ano? So, substitute lang ulit natin to this one. No? So, pagka-substitute natin dyan, so lipat lang natin yung, ayan, transposition lang yung nangyari dyan. So, sabi nga nung una, yung value ng ating omega n is kung ano yung katabi nitong ating theta. Ano? So, that meron tayong formula dito ng ating omega n is equivalent to kT over Im. Ano? So, meron na tayong tatlong value ng omega n. So, hindi kasama sa vibration of rigid bodies kasi hindi siya totally fixed, ano, kasi nagbabago yung depende dun sa figure ng ating given na figure, ano. So yung sa ating spring mass model, meron tayong K over M, ano. So pag linear, K over M. Then kapag ka naman dun sa ating simple pendulum, meron tayong square root of G over L. So kapag yan ay torsional, meron tayong K over Im, ano, o yung ating mass moment of inertia. Wherein yung unit ng ating K is this one, ano. So sabi nga is mapapansin nyo yung torque, ano. Dalawang unit ng ating torque, it's either Newton meter or inch pound, ano, or pound inch pag English. So over theta, since may theta sa ilalim, automatic meron niyang radian, ano, sa ilalim. So lagi ito kapag torsional, lagi siya may radian sa ilalim, ano, yung K. Since yung ating formula nga is merong theta sa ilalim, ano, T over theta. So yung radian kasi minsan nawawala, minsan bumabalik, ano. So basta ang formula natin ay ganyan, automatic meron tayong radian. So sabi ko na una, ang radian is para siyang unitless. So, bigla siya nawawala, minsan bigla din bumabalik. And then, ano pa? Ito, floating bodies. So sa floating bodies natin, ang formula man ng ating K is itong rho GA. Ano? Wherein yung rho is yung density ng ating fluid or liquid. Then G is yung ating acceleration due to gravity and A is yung area. Ano? So yan. Yung area niya sa ilalim. So bigay ko lang, ano. Meron tayong alam niyo masiguro yung density ng water, density ng air, ano. So ang density ng water, ano, kapag siya in SI, so meron tayong 1,000 kg per cubic meter. And then, kapag naman sa English units, so meron tayong 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. And then, so yan lang naman, ano, sa ating floating bodies. So hindi nyo lang matetermine is yung area, ano. So since sa ating floating bodies, so may force na nag-a-act dito, no? So mangyari dyan, so meron din siyang buoyant force dito. So ito yung buoyant force natin na tinatawag, yung force na nag-a-act dun sa kabila. So para nangyari, kung mapapansin nyo dito sa ating figure dito sa baba, so ito yung ating floating body. Para nangyari dyan is meron din siyang spring sa ilalim. Ito, ano. So yung deformation niya dyan is also equal dito sa deformation niya dito. Then, so yun lang muna sa ating equivalent system, ano. So solve tayo ng problem. Okay. Consider an airplane wing with a fuel pad mounted at its tip is as illustrated. So the pad has a mass of 10 kilograms. So this one is yung pad. No? So ito yung ating pad. So itong nasa magkabilang dulong yan. Ano? So the pad has a mass of 10 kilograms when it is empty and 1,000 kilograms when it is full. So calculate the change in the natural frequency of vibration of the wing when converted as a spring mass model as the airplane uses up the fuel in the wing pad. The estimate physical parameters of the beam are so ito yung ating area moment of inertia. Ano? So 5.2 times 10 raised to negative 5 raised m raised to 4. So elasticity is given as 6.9 times 10 raised to 9 Newton per square meter or Pascal, and L is equals to 2 meters. So given. So given natin, so pagka daw siya ay walang laman, so meron siyang 10 kilograms na mass itong ating pad dito. And then, so when converted as a spring mass model, so this time kung mapapansin nyo, itong part na ito is naka-fix. So yung ating wing. And then meron ditong mass na nag-aak sa magkabila. So yan. So considering this one as yung ating kung mapapansin nyo, parang similar siya dun sa ating cantilever beam. Kasi dito naka-fix yung end natin dito. And then sa dulo, may nag-act na force or mass. So same siya ng concept dun sa ating cantilever beam. So ang nangyari sa ating problem, so habang lumilipad siya, nagko-consume siya ng fuel. So ibig sabihin gumagaan. And then, since meron tayong mass dito, ang nangyari, nagbabibrate yung kanyang wing. Ang tanong sa atin ngayon is, ano yung change in frequency? Or itong delta F. So change in frequency ang ating hahanapin. So gagamitin lang natin yung ating conditions na, so kapag daw siya ay empty, so when M is empty, when yung pad is empty, M is equals to 10 kilograms, and then when tank is full, so its mass is 1,000 kilograms. Then we have here our parameters, so I, E, and L. So solution. So solve muna natin yung ating K, or yung ating is, we need to solve for the stiffness of the spring or nitong ating cantilever beam. And then, so we have here our formula. K is equals to 3EI over L cube. So 3 times E, wherein our elasticity is 6.9 times 10 raised to 9 over raised to 9 Newton per square meter or Pascal. So hindi ko na siya ginawang Pascal kasi para mas makapag-unit analysis tayo. Times yung ating I na 5.2 times 10 raised to negative 5 m raised to 4 over L cube. So 2 meters raised to 3. So we have here our value of K as 134,550 Newton per meter. So observe the units. It must be in force over deformation or Newton per meter in SI units. So since we have here our value of K, so we can now solve our value of omega n. Then our value of omega n, so bakit siya naging square root of k over m? So mapapansin nyo, so dito sa ating problem, to calculate the range in natural frequency of vibration of the wing when converted as a spring mass model. So yan, so may sinabi as a spring mass model. So kaya ang ginamit natin for omega n is square root of k over m. So we need to evaluate for both conditions. So kapag ka siya ay empty and kapag ka siya ay full yung ating fuel tank. So kapag ka siya ay empty, so sabi meron siyang 10 kilograms, and kapag full is meron siyang 1,000 kilograms. And then ang hinahanap lang naman sa atin is yung change in frequency. So we just need to solve for the frequency when the given mass is 10 kilograms, and for the when our pad is full. So for empty, we have here, so the value of RK 134,550 over 10 kilograms. So that we have here our value of omega n 115.9957 region per seconds. Ay sir.
Nasa lagay ko?
Okay, so tuloy tayo, ano? Okay, nasa na tayo? Okay, dito. So, for MT, ano? So, we have here our square root of K over M, wherein yung K natin is 134,550 over yung ating mass ng pad kapag siya ay empty. Ano? So, may tayong 10 kilograms. So, our value of omega n is 115.9957 radian per seconds. So, we can now solve for the frequency. So, omega n over 2 pi. So, mapapansin nyo na reciprocal lang naman ito ng ating period. So, di ba meron tayong formula ng ating F is equals to 1 over T. Ano? So, nireciprocate lang omega n over 2 pi. So, omega n natin is 115.9957 over yung ating 2 pi rad. Ano? O kaya naging per second na lang siya. Or hertz. Ano? So, our value here of frequency is 18.4613 hertz. Ano? And then, solve naman natin yung, so ito yung for empty. So, for full, when our fuel tank is full, so we just need to change the value of M. Ano? So, kanina meron tayong 10 kilograms. So, this time, meron tayong 1,000 kilograms. So, same pa rin naman ang ating formula. So, magiging square root of 134,550 over 1,000 kilograms. So, we have here our value of omega n, 11.5996 radian per seconds. So, direct sub. So, value of our omega n is 11.5996 over 2 pi to get the value of frequency. So, we have here 1.8461 hertz for full condition. So, since we are looking for the change in frequency, we're just going to get the difference of both frequencies. Ano? So, FE minus FF. FF. So, for FE, we have 18.4613. So, minus 1.8461. No? So, we have here our value of change in frequency is equivalent to 16.6152 hertz. Ano? So, nuggets. So, is there any question? May tanong ba sa ating problem?
Wala naman po, sir.
Okay, so proceed tayo dun sa sunod. Ano? Okay. So, yan. Ano? So, patry ko muna to sa inyo. Ano? So, a 20-pound wheel of 15-inch radius is attached to a 3 feet long axle that is supported by a frictionless... sige, tuloy na pala natin. Bago na pala ang condition. Ano? So, 20-pound wheel of 15-inch radius is attached to a 3 feet long axle. So, this one is our axle. And then, so ito ay nakafix dito sa part na ito. So, fix at end by a fixed frictionless collar. So, ito yung end. So, the axle is 1 inch in diameter. So, we have here our axle. So, its diameter is 1 inch. And its mass is negligible. So, compared with that of the wheel. So, sinabi na rin dito na yung mass ng ating axle is negligible. So, same lang din nung sinabi sa atin kanina na kapag yung nag-evaluate tayo na equivalent system, ano, yung system natin, ano, is yung mass ng system is we are assuming na mas mababa yung value ng kanyang weight compared dun sa ito. So dun sa given, so or dun sa ibang nag-a-act na mass. So or it's either negligible or sobrang liit ng value. So if the wheel is rotated and release, rotated slightly and release, so anong nangyari, inikot daw itong wheel. So since ito yung nakafix, ang mangyayari dyan, mapipilipit yung ating axle. So if the wheel is rotated slightly and release, a period of 0.1 second is observed. So nung binitawan yan, since nag-apply ka ng torque dyan, so parang ang nangyari is dun sa same nung sa ating spiral spring. So pag-apply mo ng torque, then binitawan mo, so babalik yan dun sa kanyang original position. So pagbalik niya dun sa kanyang original position, so may nakuha siyang period na 0.1 seconds. So determine the shear modulus of the axle. So assume that the mass of the wheel is uniformly distributed. So ang hinahanap natin dito is yung value ng G, or yung ating shear modulus. Kasi wala naman tayong modulus of elasticity dito. Okay. So given, so yung weight ng ating wheel is 20 pounds and then yung kanyang radius is 15 inch. Then yung length ng axle at saka yung kanyang diameter is 3 feet and 1 inch respectively. Then yung period is 0.1 seconds. So find G. So since meron tayo ditong given na ating period, hanapin muna natin yung value ni omega n. So ito, So to find the value of omega n, we have here our formula of period is 2 pi over omega n. So substitute, so cross multiply, derive the equation. So we have here our formula of omega n is equivalent to 2 pi over t, where t is yung torque. Torque tuloy. T is in yung period. So we have our equation, omega n is equals to 2 pi over 0.1 seconds, so that we can get our value of omega n here as 62.8319 radian per seconds. So since we have here our value of omega n, we can now find the value of Im and yung K. So since hindi given yung ating Im, so wait lang, share natin yung isang table. Okay. So hindi given si stiffness or yung K, Hindi rin given itong ating Im, but we can solve the value of mass moment of inertia. Since we have here our formula of I, or yung mass moment of inertia natin as 1/2 mr squared. So saan ito nanggaling? So dito lang yan nanggaling sa ating table. So mapapansin nyo, yung ating the point of axis is so nandito yung ang point of axis natin is nandito sa x-axis. So kung mapapansin nyo yung ating figure dito, so circular yan. So it can be the same as this thin disk. So that yung formula ng ating Ix is equivalent to 1/2 mr squared. So dyan ang galing yung formula natin ng I dito. Wherein m is yung mass and r squared is r is a radius. So this time, kung mapapansin nyo, nag-iba yung formula natin ng omega n. So meron tayong formula ngayon na omega n is square root of k over Im. So kasi yan ay, di ba meron tayong torsional dito. So, nangyari dito is pinaikot niya.
Basketball court.
Ano? So that, syempre, magbabago din yung ating formula ng omega n. Magiging square root of K over Im. So, yan.
Sa facing para eh. Bakit?
Kung nakita ko yung foreign doon. Pero, papasok pa doon.
And then, so we can now solve for the value of I. So, 1/2 M. So, since our given here is naka-pounds, so since our given here is in pounds, so we need to divide it to our value of acceleration due to gravity, or yung ating 32.2 feet per second square to make it mass. And then times r squared. So since our given here ng ating radius is in inches, so we need to convert yung ating inch. So that makakancel yung ating inch, we have here the value of F or feet. So cancel itong ating FT. So matitira na lang is itong ating pounds and per second square. But meron diyang matitirang isang feet sa taas, kasi ito ay naka-square. So solve natin. So meron tayong makukuha value ng I, which is equivalent to 0.4852 pound feet second square. So yung tandaan ng ating unit ng I, pound feet second square. Ayan. So we can now solve for the value of K. So our value here of omega n is 62.8319 radian per second, is equivalent to square root of K over Im, or yung value ng ating Im is 0.4852 pound feet second square. So we need to derive this formula so that we can get the value of K. So we need to square both sides. So as you can see for this one, naka-square yung ating omega n, and then cross multiply, so that we can get the value of K. And so that multiply the omega n. So multiply si omega n squared times dun sa ating value ng Im, wherein yung ating K is 62, yung ating omega n is 62.8319 radian per second. So quantity squared times 0.4852 pound feet second square. So we can now get the value of K is equivalent to 1915.6841 pound feet per radian. So for the value of K, so we have here our formula, Jg is equals to Jg over L, wherein J is yung ating polar moment of inertia, and then G is yung ating shear modulus. When given yung ating L, so given din yung ating K, but we can solve for the value of polar moment of inertia, since we have here we have given yung diameter ng ating axle, since ang hinahanap natin dito is yung shear modulus ng ating axle. Okay. So ang formula ng ating polar moment of inertia is pi over 32, or pi d to the fourth. So d to the fourth over yung ating sabay.
Start naman, actually, after the graphical method, you remember yung 4-bar linkages. If you want to know yung certain angle or length ng mga linkages natin for positioning ng mga joints natin. So using graphical method is by drawing talaga natin. Now, pumunta tayo dun sa next topic
Wala din mo ilalagay na symbol.
Last topic natin for this term, yung velocity method. So, I won't deep dive talaga.
Okay, so yung formula ng ating polar moment of inertia is we have pi d to the fourth over 32.
I just want to
So huwag malilito, ang J ay polar moment of inertia. So since we have here our given of given si itong ating diameter, ano? So convert lang ulit natin yan into feet. So kaya nagkaroon tayo ng 1 feet over 12 inch dito. So that we can cancel yung inch. Ano? And then diretso lang dun sa ating formula. So diretso solve na yan. So we have here our value of K. So 1,915.6841 pound-feet per rad. Ito, kung mapapansin nyo dito, nagkaroon na lang uli siya ng radian sa ilalim. Kasi ang formula ng ating K is meron tayong torque. Or ito yung ating formula ng torque over yung theta. Kaya may radian sa ilalim yung ating K. So equals pi over 32. So 1 inch over 1 over 12 raised to 4 times G, o yung ating shear modulus all over 3 feet. So that we can cancel the feet here. So matitira na lang dyan is yung ating value ng shear modulus, which is 100. Okay, 1,213,864,570 pounds per square feet. So kaya nga lang is convert pa rito natin into PSI or pounds per square inch. So we have here our value 8,429,615.07 PSI or 8. Just convert it into a scientific notation, 8.4296 times 10 raised to 6 PSI. So ito na yung value ng ating G. So mas magandang laging naka-inch instead of feet. So may tanong ba dito sa ating pangalawang problem? So any questions?
Kalimutan muna natin yung linkages natin, yung mechanism na I want you to understand.
So any questions dito sa ating pangalawang problem? Meron ba? Sige, tanong kayo.
Kasi madami tayo mga velocity na makikita sa ating problem. So sinasabi dito, kalimutan daw pag may dalawang given na velocity, yung
Okay, so think wala naman lang.
velocity niya is yung difference.
So next problem.
For example, dito sa problem, dito sa sample natin,
So a 200-pound man floats on a 6 feet by 2 feet inflatable raft in a frozen swimming pool. So estimate the period of vertical bobbing of the man and the raft system should be the man. Estimate the period of vertical bobbing of the man and the raft system should the man be disturbed. So assume that the weight of the man is distributed uniformly over the raft and that the mass of the raft is negligible. So yung ating system dito is yung raft. And then we have here our given mass for dun sa nakahigang lalaki. So we have here our given 200 pounds. So given. So we have here weight is equal to 200 pounds and area is we have here 6 feet by 2 feet. And then find the period. Estimate the period of vertical bobbing. So ang tendency kasi nito is mag-move siya up and down. So especially kapag meron siyang alon o nag-move yung liquid. So we have here our formula of K is equals to rho GA. Since ang ating units here is in English units, So same lang naman ito nung formula. So rho GA is equivalent to specific weight times area. So ang specific weight kasi natin is equivalent dun sa mass density ng ating liquid multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. So since ang given sa atin dito or is English units, kung papansin nyo English units. So ang gagamitin nating density is yung 62.4 pounds per cubic feet. So bakit? So ito na yung ating density. So baka may nalilito sa inyo, anong pinagkaiba ng specific weight at ng density? Specific weight at saka ng density. So same lang naman sila ng units. So pagdating kasi kay specific weight, same lang siya nung ating weight density. So meron kasi tayong tinatawag na weight density at saka mass density. Wherein dun sa ating mass density, we have our formula mass over volume. So mapapansin nyo dun sa unit ng ating mass density is naka-kilograms per cubic meter in SI. And then kapag ka naman yun yung weight density, so meron tayong Newton per cubic meter. So kaya kapag napapansin nyo bakit minsan meron tayong given na specific weight is 9.81 naka-kilonewton per cubic meter. So same lang yung ating specific weight at yung ating weight density. So huwag kayong malilito. So ang symbol lang naman natin dito ng ating specific weight is itong Y. So Y times area. So yung ating specific weight for English is 62.4 pounds per cubic feet. So multiplied by 6 feet times 2 feet para makuha yung ating area. Since we have here our given dimensions as 6 feet by 2 feet. So we can now find the value of our K. So K is equivalent to 748.8 pounds per feet. So since we have here our value of K, then given naman yung ating weight, so we can now solve for the value of omega n. So sir, bakit po naging K square root of K over M ulit? So balik ulit tayo dun sa ating discussion kanina. Kung mapapansin nyo, kapag siya ay floating bodies, so meron siyang parang spring dito. So same lang yung movement. Ang ating deformation dito is linear. So parang dun siya pumapatak sa ating spring mass model. So value of our omega n is square root of K over M. So wherein K is 748.8 pounds per feet. And then yung ating M, since ang given sa atin dito is naka-pounds, so laging i-divide kay 32.2 feet per second square when it is in English units. So kasi we can treat pounds as force. So we just need to divide it to 32.2 feet per second square. So that cancel our pounds here. Cancel yung feet. So matitira si per second square so that we can get the value of omega n is equivalent to 10.97. Wala, wait.
Pwede nyo yung scale, pwede nyo siyang gawin 1 centimeter. Pwede nyo siyang i-flat, for example, si velocity is 1 centimeter. Kunwari may value na to, pwede nyo siyang gawin 2 kilometer per hour is ang scale niya is 1 centimeter. So kung meron ditong value, for example, is 3 kilometer per hour, pwede nyo din siyang i-scale. So kung ang scale natin ay 4 na lang pala. Kung ang scale natin is 1 centimeter per 2 kilometer per hour, it means this is 2 centimeter. So yung mga velocity, pwede nyo siyang bigyan ng scale. Kasi for example, gusto nyo siyang ma-plot, makuha nyo yung velocity.
Okay. So we have here our value of omega n is equivalent to 10.9798 radian per seconds. And then, diretso na tayo. Formula ng ating period is square 2 pi over omega n so that we can now get our value here of our period 2 pi over 10.9798 radian per seconds. And our value here ng ating period is equivalent to 0.5722 seconds. Ano? So, nakuha ba? So, may tanong ba kayo? So, sige. Question.
For example, nagsimula ka sa velocity A, so that's yun. And then kay velocity B naman, dun yun siya dinugtong.
Oh, any question?
So yung pag-close natin yan, nakakuha na hypotenuse, yun yung velocity A.
May tanong ba sa ating problem?
Baliktad, kasi tulad nga ng sinabi ko, pwede mas baliktad yung mga direksyon ng velocity. Kung meron tayong nagsisimula tayo sa B, kung ano siya ng velocity A, makaklose pa rin natin siya, yun yung
Okay, so yun lang ano.
para makarating
Next meeting na lang ulit. No? So, tapusin ko lang yung compound system and then pwede tayo makapag-quiz before tayo mag-exam, mag-major exam. So, yun lang and thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.